Hello, I'm Seth Horseman, Precision Ag Consultant for the South Dakota South region, and today I'll be talking about My Operations Center app. So in the My Operations app, we're going to be able to see right away on our main landing page the different passes that we made through that field. So this will be anything that we've changed products on. So obviously from tillage to harvest we changed, but when you drop down here and see some of the application with different products, it'll make you a new line. And as you can see, I've only got 3 acres of 173 done. It sees 173 acres due to the boundary we have around the field, and only 3 have been done, because when we look at the actual map of the field, there's only 3 acres have been done. With that, you can see the different passes you've made, so if you want to drill down and see one specific pass, you can. So for seeding, it gives us kind of a general overview of what we did in the field. It gives you a start and an end time, your different varieties. So the variety we plant is at Allegiant 10357. But it's plus 52 because there's actually 52 varieties in here, but it won't exactly show you them all, but we can see them. But this is just a broad general overview. If you do want to drill down to a specific date on something, you can. If you want to filter things out and only see application, harvest, or seeding, you can. Due to this, we're just staying on our agronomic plot in Mitchell, so that's why we only have 1 field in here. So in yours, you might see quite a few different fields. If you do have a planter that's red or a combine that's red or any other color for that matter, we can do is what's called manual documentation. So let's say I just want to create a manual pass in this field. You can set the date. So let's just say in January 21st, we're going to go out and do this. The field is going to be any fields that you have in here. So I'll just pick the field we're going to. We'll make it a seeding map. Again, pick your date and then select your variety. So if you want to do by whatever crop you want, you can. So we'll select corn. So there's 52 of them, so I'll just pick this one for now. Population, I'll just say we're going to go out there and plant at 30,000 seeds per acre. Once you're done there, you can save it, and what it actually does is creates a manual coverage for that field. So there it is already. So it says 0% acres completed. We haven't gone out and done it, but we can go in there and change that if we wanted to show that we've covered it. So that'll show up in the Ops Center as a coverage map. So next one's the map. So the map we opened up before, like you guys saw, was an as-applied map. So if you want to change that, I'm going to go back and see that seeding map. I select that, and if I want to see my varieties, the as-applied rate or the target rate, or the speed for that matter, I can do that, and it changes the map in the background. Now, you can see that there's some changes here, different colors, and your legend over here hides, but you can see the legends. Now the other one that's kind of neat with this is, say I wanted to see the varieties, like I was talking about before. The color map is a different variety there for every one, so as you can see, the different varieties we have, there's quite a few in there, but it will change the map in the background depending on what you have on the top of the screen. So if you want to see something else, you can change that as well. Once you're in the map, the bottom bar here is kind of hidden. You take it and slide it up, and it gives you a little bit more detail on that field. So your client farm field up there, 121.6 acres out of 137 because of the boundary. We didn't plant the entire field. As you can see, it's a satellite imagery map, so we didn't plant everything there, and the farm obviously. And this is our plot, so we've got it so we can drive to all sections of the field. If you've got a hired guy that doesn't know how to get to the field, you can hit this directions and it'll actually take you out to the directions on your phone, and it'll give them driving directions there. Also, if you want this as like a PDF, you can actually hit that share button, and what it'll do is it'll bring it up as a PDF, and then you can share it to contacts, you can email it or text it to somebody. And it's actually pretty nice because if you get an insurance agent or something that needs something right now and you've got this at your fingertips, you can just grab it and send it out to them. It's a fairly nice option there. So when you have this open, you've got your summary with the equipment. Tells you what equipment we actually went out there and planted with. This was just some demo stuff we had out there running. And then also, if there was weather with it, it'll load your weather. So this is a weather station that takes from a third party, but that's what we're looking at for weather. So the last one here is the view, seeding, and analyze. So with this map, if you wanted to see all of these in a breakdown, you can hit that view and analyze. And what it does is it actually takes us to our analyze tab. Now it shows you all of the varieties that we planted out there, and it says we only covered 2.2 acres because most of it was that. But you've got your average rate, your last seeded, and things like that. Now if you switch gears a little bit, and let's just go to Analyze and Seeding. And let's say we want to look at the harvest. Now it'll actually show us the varieties, and there was the yield, the moisture of each individual variety. So you can actually really drill down to see what they actually did, and then your wet mass and your total bushel. Now with that, when you're looking at it and it doesn't look right or you need to edit it or something, we can come back here to our map, and then on the very bottom, you can edit. So if I want to post-harvest calibrate now, I can post-harvest calibrate with the area or the dry yield of the entire field. So it is kind of nice, and you can do the dry weight or the wet weight, depending on which one you want, but you can post-harvest calibrate. Also with this, if you've ever seen when you pull up your fields and it looks like a whole quarter is about like that big, if you have two portions of the field where they forgot to change fields and they went over here and started combining or something and then realized it, if you have that little sliver of data, you can actually delete that data if you wanted to. This is our plot, so I'm not going to delete anything, but that is how you would delete it. If you want to go back to the map real quick, right up here it says complete field, and it's got a little itty bitty point on a map. You can just hit that and it'll actually bring you right back to the field. So kind of nice going to and from and back and forth. Now the last part I want to cover is the plan. So now if you want to plan for the next year, tillage, seeding, application, or harvest, you can actually go in here and plan some type of work. So say you want to go seed, we're going to select the crop, we're going to go plant some alfalfa variety. We're just going to use this variety that's in here. If you want to put a tank mix in there, you can. Some more details is you can put even the operator, the machine that you're going to use out there. If you have a work order number, for some of you guys, if you're a custom applicator or something, you can do that as well. So which field do I want to do? That one. And then if I want to set all rates for all fields and include guidance tracks, we can do that as well. If we just hit add work, it creates that work and then we're good. So that is how you would plan that out. So when it does start going out to plant and that field starts coming in and you're doing planting, you'll see this bar start to go across as well. So kind of like this, it's actually looking for more acres to cover that 137 acres of field. But obviously we're not going to go out there. We're doing strips and passes and things like that. A couple things to note is you can put flags in there. So if you want to flag something out in the field, whether it's a rock or a tile line or something like that, you can do that as well. The agronomic advantage of this is going to be you have this level of accuracy with looking at your crops and your fields in real time at your fingertips. If you need to share it to a banker, the FSA office, a crop advisor, anybody, it's easily able to send it out. If you need to edit it, you can too. This is just on our iPad here, so you can do a lot of different things with it. That will conclude the Op Center.